Welcome, history enthusiasts, to a journey unlike any other. We often think we know America's story: Columbus, Pilgrims, Revolution, Civil War. But beneath the familiar narratives lies a sprawling tapestry woven with forgotten wars, mysterious disappearances, radical experiments, and shocking injustices. Today, we're diving deep into the shadows of history, exploring the untold tales that shaped this nation in ways you've never imagined. Prepare to have your perceptions challenged and your understanding expanded as we unearth the chapters of America's past that rarely make it into the textbooks. This isn't just history, it's the hidden history, the one no one knows, and it's far more compelling than fiction. Let's peel back the layers and discover the America you never knew existed. From ancient civilizations to secret government projects, we're covering it all. Before the Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria ever set sail, North America was a continent teeming with complex, sophisticated civilizations. Forget the simplistic, primitive tribes narrative. We're talking about vast urban centers, intricate trade networks, and monumental architecture rivaling anything in Europe at the time. Consider Cahokia, near modern-day St. Louis, a sprawling city with a population potentially larger than London's in the 12th century, dominated by colossal earthen mounds. Or the enigmatic Hopewell and Mississippian cultures, whose earthworks and ceremonial complexes stretch across thousands of miles. These were societies with advanced astronomy, elaborate burial rituals, and deep spiritual connections to the land. Their stories, often relegated to footnotes, are fundamental to understanding the true origins and depth of human habitation on this continent, showcasing a vibrant history that existed long before any European footprint. Long before Columbus, there's compelling evidence of another European presence in North America: the Vikings. Sagas tell tales of Leif Erikson and his crew establishing settlements, which archaeologists have confirmed with the discovery of Lance Os Meadows in Newfoundland, Canada. This isn't just a fleeting visit. It was a bona fide Norse settlement around 1000 AD, complete with workshops, dwellings, and evidence of iron smelting. Imagine a world where Norse longships sailed alongside indigenous canoes, engaging in trade, conflict, and cultural exchange. While their stay was ultimately temporary, likely due to conflicts with indigenous peoples and logistical challenges, their arrival shatters the myth of a new world completely untouched by Europeans until 1492. It's a testament to the incredible navigational prowess of the Norse and a reminder that history is rarely as linear as we're taught. In the annals of American history, few stories are as haunting and unsolved as the lost colony of Roanoke. In 1587, over 100 English settlers, led by John White, established a colony on Roanoke Island off the coast of present-day North Carolina. White left for supplies, promising to return soon, but when he finally came back 3 years later, in 1590, the entire settlement was gone. No bodies, no signs of struggle, just the single word Croatoan carved into a fence post and crow on a tree. What happened to them? Were they massacred by indigenous tribes? Did they assimilate? Did they attempt to relocate and perish in the wilderness? The mystery endures, a chilling reminder of the perils of early colonial life and the unforgiving nature of the New World. It's a foundational enigma that continues to captivate historians and amateur sleuths alike, underscoring the fragility of those early European footholds. When you think of early American conflicts, the Revolutionary War or the War of 1812 probably come to mind. But did you know America's first overseas wars were fought against pirates in North Africa? From the late 18th to the early 19th century, the Barbary states, Algiers, Tunis, Tripoli, and Morocco, preyed on merchant shipping in the Mediterranean, demanding tribute for safe passage. When the newly independent United States refused to pay the exorbitant fees, its ships and sailors were captured and enslaved. This led to the First and Second Barbary Wars, pivotal moments where the fledgling U.S. Navy proved its mettle, establishing America's presence on the global stage. It was a crucial test of national sovereignty and economic independence, forging a military identity beyond its own shores and demonstrating a willingness to project power far from home. This forgotten chapter shaped early American foreign policy.
L'Haïtienne Révolution, a successful slave revolt against French colonial rule from 1791 to 1804, is a monumental event often overlooked in American history, yet its impact on the young United States was profound and complex. On one hand, it instilled immense fear among Southern slaveholders, who saw it as a terrifying precedent that could inspire similar uprisings. Laws restricting slave assemblies and literacy were tightened. On the other hand, the Revolution indirectly led to the Louisiana Purchase. Napoleon, reeling from his defeat in Haiti and needing funds, decided to sell the vast territory to the U.S., doubling its size. Haiti's struggle for freedom, a truly monumental achievement against overwhelming odds, sent shockwaves through the Americas, forcing the U.S. to confront its own contradictions regarding liberty and slavery. Its direct influence on U.S. territorial expansion is a crucial, often unacknowledged historical connection.
Did you know there was an independent nation within what is now the United States that existed for a mere 74 days? In 1810, American settlers in the Spanish territory of West Florida, frustrated with Spanish rule and seeking annexation by the U.S., revolted. They captured the fort at Baton Rouge, declared their independence, and established the Republic of West Florida. They even designed their own flag, a blue field with a single white star, known as the Bonnie Blue Flag. This short-lived republic had a constitution, a governor, and a small army before it was swiftly annexed by the United States. Its story is a fascinating glimpse into the chaotic and often audacious process of American territorial expansion, revealing a period where regions independently declared sovereignty, challenging established colonial powers, and shaping borders we now take for granted. It's a true, forgotten nation within our own history. Deep within the treacherous, mosquito-infested Great Dismal Swamp, straddling the border of Virginia and North Carolina, a remarkable story of resistance unfolded. For over 2 centuries, from the late 1600s to the Civil War, this seemingly impenetrable wilderness harbored communities of Maroons, enslaved people who had escaped plantations and established their own self-sufficient societies. These freedom seekers, often living in secluded islands within the swamp, built homes, cultivated food, and developed unique survival strategies, all while evading capture. They were joined by indigenous people and even some indentured servants. Their existence defied the very institution of slavery, demonstrating incredible resilience, ingenuity, and an unyielding desire for liberty. The Maroons of the Great Dismal Swamp represent a powerful, tangible testament to the human spirit's refusal to be bound, a hidden beacon of hope and defiance in a dark period of American history. Imagine a potential international conflict involving 2 great powers nearly erupting over a single pig. That's the bizarre reality of the Pig War of 1859. The U.S. and Great Britain disputed ownership of the San Juan Islands, located between Vancouver Island and the U.S. mainland. On June 15th, an American farmer named Lyman Cutler shot a British pig that was rooting in his potato patch. This seemingly trivial incident escalated dramatically. British authorities threatened to arrest Cutler. American settlers called for military protection. And soon, both sides had hundreds of troops and naval warships poised for battle on San Juan Island. Cooler heads eventually prevailed, and the only casualty was the pig. This almost war, resolved through arbitration years later, is a comical yet fascinating footnote in Anglo-American relations, illustrating the delicate nature of border disputes and the unexpected triggers for international tension. It's a reminder that history can be stranger than fiction. The Civil War is often framed as North versus South, but deep divisions also simmered within the Union. The New York City draft riots of July 1863 expose a brutal chapter of class and racial tension. Enraged by a new federal draft law that allowed wealthier men to pay $300 to avoid service, a sum impossible for most working-class immigrants, and fueled by resentment towards Black Americans who they feared would compete for jobs, thousands of rioters, primarily Irish immigrants, erupted in violence. The city descended into chaos for 5 days. Mobs attacked draft offices, wealthy neighborhoods, and most horrifically, Black citizens and institutions, including an orphanage. The riots, which claimed over 100 lives and required federal troops fresh from Gettysburg to quell, revealed the raw, ugly underbelly of wartime urban America, a stark reminder that even in the fight for freedom, prejudice and economic disparity could ignite devastating internal conflict. While America champions capitalism, its history is dotted with fascinating, often forgotten, experiments in socialist and communal living. From the early 19th century through the early 20th, various groups sought to create utopian societies, driven by religious fervor, philosophical ideals, or a desire for economic equality. Think of the Oneida community in New York, known for its complex marriage and successful silver-making industry, or New Harmony, Indiana, founded by Robert Owen, an attempt at a secular cooperative society. Even figures like Henry George, a proponent of the single tax movement, inspired communities. These diverse communes, though many ultimately failed, offered alternative visions for American society, challenging prevailing norms of private property, family structures, and labor. They represent a persistent undercurrent of idealism and social experimentation, a less recognized facet of the American pursuit of happiness and the desire to forge a better world. In an event so bizarre it sounds like something out of a cartoon, Boston experienced one of its most tragic and unexpected disasters on January 15, 1919, the Great Molasses Flood. A massive storage tank holding over 2 million gallons of molasses ruptured in the North End, sending a 25-foot-high wave of the sticky substance roaring through the streets at 35 miles per hour. The viscous torrent swept people, horses, and buildings into its path. Tragically, 21 people were killed and over 150 were injured. The area was completely devastated, and the pervasive smell of molasses lingered for decades, seeping into the very bricks of the neighborhood. This grotesque industrial accident, a result of faulty construction and inadequate safety standards, highlights the hidden dangers of rapid industrialization and remains one of history's most unusual and darkly humorous catastrophes, a stark reminder of how quickly the mundane can turn deadly. The Great Depression hit Americans hard, and perhaps no group felt it more acutely than the WWI veterans who marched on Washington, D.C. in 1932. Known as the Bonus Army, these 17,000 veterans, along with their families, demanded immediate payment of service bonuses promised to them for 1945. They were destitute, unemployed, and living in makeshift camps across the city. The Hoover administration, fearing unrest, ultimately ordered the military, led by General Douglas MacArthur and Major Dwight D. Eisenhower, to disperse the veterans. Tanks, cavalry, and tear gas were used against American citizens, war heroes no less, burning their encampments to the ground. This brutal crackdown, widely condemned, became a symbol of the government's perceived indifference to suffering during the Depression and deeply tarnished Hoover's reputation, casting a long shadow over American politics and underscoring the raw desperation of the era. One of the darkest chapters in American medical history, the Tuskegee syphilis experiment represents a horrific betrayal of public trust. For 40 years, from 1932 to 1972, the U.S. Public Health Service conducted a study on hundreds of poor, rural African-American men in Alabama who had syphilis. The men were told they were receiving free health care for bad blood, but were deliberately left untreated, even after penicillin became a known cure in the 1940s. Researchers knowingly withheld life-saving treatment to observe the natural progression of the disease, leading to preventable suffering, blindness, insanity, and death among the participants and their families. This unethical experiment, only brought to light by a whistleblower in 1972, caused immense suffering and eroded trust in the medical community, leaving an indelible stain on American scientific ethics and highlighting the devastating impact of systemic racism. The Cold War era saw the U.S. government engage in covert operations far beyond conventional espionage, venturing into deeply disturbing territory with projects like MKUltra. From the 1950s to the 1970s, the CIA conducted highly unethical and often illegal human experiments aimed at developing mind control techniques. This involved administering LSD and other psychoactive drugs to unwitting subjects, including civilians and military personnel, often without their consent. They also explored hypnosis, sensory deprivation, and psychological torture. The goal was to develop methods for interrogation, propaganda, and behavior modification. Much of the documentation was destroyed, but what little emerged through declassified files and Senate hearings painted a chilling picture of government overreach and a blatant disregard for human rights. It's a stark reminder of the lengths to which state actors can go in the name of national security, blurring ethical lines in pursuit of secret knowledge. In the vibrant Greenwood district of Tulsa, Oklahoma, often called Black Wall Street, African Americans had built a thriving, prosperous community. But on May 31, 1921, this success was brutally shattered. Following an unsubstantiated accusation against a black man, white mobs, many deputized and armed, descended upon Greenwood. Over 2 days, they looted, burned, and murdered, destroying over 35 blocks of homes and businesses, killing an estimated 100 to 300 people, and leaving thousands homeless. Airplanes were even used to drop incendiary devices. For decades, this horrific event was systematically suppressed from historical records, textbooks, and public memory, a deliberate effort to erase one of the worst acts of racial violence in American history. Its rediscovery and acknowledgement in recent years represent a vital step towards confronting the brutal realities of racial injustice and the long-lasting impact of this forgotten American tragedy. On the night of March 13, 1997, thousands of people across Arizona and Nevada witnessed a series of mysterious, stationary lights and later, a colossal, V-shaped craft silently gliding across the night sky. This wasn't a handful of individuals. It was arguably the largest mass UFO sighting in U.S. history, with eyewitnesses including former Governor Fife Symington. Despite widespread media coverage and countless compelling accounts, the official explanation from the Air Force was mundane: flares dropped by an A-10 Warthog aircraft. This explanation, however, failed to account for the massive, silent V-shaped object described by so many, including commercial pilots. The Phoenix Lights incident remains a captivating enigma, sparking ongoing debate about unexplained aerial phenomena and government transparency. It's a modern mystery that challenges our understanding of what exists above us, leaving a lasting imprint on the public consciousness and fueling the quest for answers. During World War II, as the race for the atomic bomb intensified, the U.S. government undertook one of the most secretive and ambitious projects in history: the creation of entire cities from scratch. Oak Ridge, Tennessee, Los Alamos, New Mexico, and Hanford, Washington became instant, clandestine metropolises, built to house hundreds of scientists, engineers, and workers dedicated to the Manhattan Project. These atomic cities were shrouded in secrecy, literally erased from public maps, and their residents were sworn to absolute silence, often unaware of the true nature of their work. They had limited contact with the outside world, elaborate security, and an urgent sense of purpose. This monumental effort, transforming barren landscapes into bustling scientific hubs in mere months, remains a testament to human ingenuity and obsession, a hidden chapter vital to understanding the birth of the nuclear age and its profound impact on global power dynamics. Off the coast of California, in the serene waters of Suisun Bay, lies a haunting and largely unknown spectacle, the Ghost Fleet. This is where hundreds of inactive naval and merchant ships, many dating back to World War II and the Korean War, have been moored in a state of suspended animation for decades. These majestic vessels, once vital to America's defense and commerce, now sit silently, slowly decaying, awaiting their ultimate fate, scrapping or refurbishment. For years, they represented a readily available reserve fleet, a silent testament to America's industrial and military might. More recently, environmental concerns have pushed for their expedited removal, but the sight of these rusting giants, lined up like forgotten sentinels against the backdrop of modern California, offers a poignant and often overlooked glimpse into the vast scale of American wartime production and the inevitable march of obsolescence. It's a maritime graveyard telling stories of bygone eras. And so, our journey through America's hidden history concludes, but the conversation has just begun. We've traversed from ancient empires to bizarre conflicts, from utopian dreams to unspeakable horrors, and through mysteries that continue to confound. These untold stories aren't mere footnotes. They are crucial threads in the complex tapestry of American identity. They remind us that history is never static, never fully known, and always open to reinterpretation. By acknowledging these forgotten chapters, we gain a richer, more nuanced understanding of where we came from, the struggles we overcame, and the challenges that still resonate today. The past is not just a collection of facts, it's a living dialogue. And by seeking out the stories no one knows, we not only honor the forgotten, but also equip ourselves with a deeper, more empathetic lens through which to view our present and shape our future. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep unearthing the profound truths that lie beneath the surface.